that's News Time. Ken Johnston reporting. Iran's given a new signal that the American hostages are on the point of being released. The Iranians have asked Algeria, which is acting as go-between in the dispute with America, to send in aircraft and doctors to Tehran. Iran says the doctors will confirm the 52 hostages are in excellent health and will prevent any waste of time if they're to be freed in the next couple of days. It all depends on the outcome of complex financial talks going on in Algeria at the moment. The arrangements involving Bank of England officials and Washington diplomats centre on the Iranian assets frozen by President Carter when the hostages were taken. The assets have been transferred through London to Algeria. And as Andrew Manderstam reports, officials are more optimistic about a settlement now than ever before.
No one will say so publicly, but this is as close as the United States has got to solving the 441-day-old crisis. President Carter's press secretary, Jody Powell, says there's a real possibility that the hostages will be released before Mr. Carter leaves office on Tuesday. Meanwhile, members of the hostages' families are holding their breath. The wife of one of the captives, Mrs. Dorothea Moorfield, describes her feelings.
Excited, very, very keyed up, very nervous, frightened that, of course, it's not over yet, and we realize that. But certainly I feel better than I have in a long, long time.
When and if the hostages are released, they'll probably be flown to Germany, and waiting to greet them could be President Carter himself.
The condition of Bernadette McAliskey has deteriorated, and doctors at Musgrave Park Hospital say she's now very seriously ill. Her husband Michael is also in a serious condition. 3 men arrested immediately after yesterday's shooting near Coal Island are still being questioned by detectives at Gough Barracks in Armagh. It's understood they're suspected of belonging to an extreme Protestant organisation, and police are also quizzing them about the recent killings of IRSP members Miriam Daly and Ronald Bunting. A top British industrialist wants to set up an anti-terrorist office to protect businesses in the UK and Europe from the provisional IRA. Colin Duncan has the details.
The initiative is being launched by Sir Alistair Pilkington, the chairman of a St Helens-based glassmaking company. He wants a dozen of Britain's leading multinationals to get together to discuss what he calls a concerted approach to discourage terrorism towards the companies. Sir Alistair, who's in Mexico at the moment, narrowly missed injury when he received a letter bomb during the IRA's 1974 bombing campaign in England. The industrialist wants to create an anti-IRA office in London's Centrepoint building, the headquarters of employers' organisation the CBI. Sir Alistair says the entire project will be headed by an unnamed expert on terrorism and cost about £15,000 a year. A spokesman for Sir Alistair's company says the move is a personal one and isn't necessarily being backed by the firm.
Finally, a student in the West Midlands is claiming a place in the record books after a marathon 9-hour stint at one game of Space Invaders, the computer game which is sweeping the country. Chris Kitty has the details.
It was 10:30 a.m. when 20-year-old Andrew Biggs popped his 20 pence into the machine in an amusement arcade in Stourbridge. At 7:30 p.m. the same day, he was still playing the same game. He clocked up an amazing 4 million points and worn a hole in his plimsolls. The management had to hold back crowds who'd gathered to watch the historic event, and his brother, who bore witness to the whole intergalactic episode, had to dash out 4 times to move his car off a yellow line. Andrew eventually gave up, not because he was beaten, but he says because he had somewhere to go.
News again midday.
Must have cost him a lot of money to coin a phrase. Thanks, Ken. Come 12 midday,